it's Roethlisberger. His throw incomplete. Bryant spread out to the right. Down, Roethlisberger. And now another one thrown incomplete. Trying to get it there to Martavis Bryant. And that'll bring up a 4th down. Here's Jordan Berry now as he's... This is taken around the 12. It's a 40-yard punt, 4 yards on the return. And the Dolphins' drive will start deep in their own territory with a 1st and 10. Jay Ajayi works his way back onto the field. So after that hot start, the numbers here show the decline. What has the defense done adjustment-wise?
Sometimes when you have a running back who's gotten off to a hot start, you've got to catch him before he really gets going. So you change what you do across the defensive front. Instead of the linebackers being back a few yards, you bring them up closer. It's what we call mugging the line of scrimmage, taking away a lot of blocking angles and gaps, and maybe stopping him before he can get going.
Mugging the line of scrimmage, okay.
Yeah, in this case.
8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short. Just 2 yards to go here on 2nd down for the offense. They stay on the ground. Again, it's Ajayi. Whoosh. Oh, he's got a little daylight. Still going. 23 yards on the play. And another good game here as the numbers show. We had a rare meeting with the entire offensive line this week. They were pretty ecstatic. Well, they should be ecstatic again.
And we had that meeting with them because of how they played last week. I thought it was your idea. It was brilliant to say, let's bring the big guys in.
Kind.
Well, it was true. Let's talk to the guys. How did they pull that off? Because they were so productive. No real problems in getting to the offensive backfield. They were getting downfield, getting the 2nd, 3rd level, creating extra blocks. We're seeing that again this week. They are really locked in. So credit to them. But also a big credit to the offensive line coach because he's got to feel great about what he's prepared.
Absolutely. Tannehill now. They give to Ajayi. And no room that time. Getting it to about the 46. A gain of a yard gets them back where they started. Now it's 3rd and 10.
Well, I think we know by now that every run is not going to be broken and get all the way to the end zone. But these short ones still have their value. You can still set up the play action and throw the football. You control the clock because you have the ball and they don't. And often the physicality sets the tempo for the game.
They run with Ajayi. Oh, nice move. Fights off another.
I think the 2nd tackler would have learned from the 1st.
They'll get 6 there on the run, but it brings up 4th down.
That was a good, forceful run. And it demonstrates why you've got to put your body on a runner when you're trying to tackle him. If you just go in there and just try and get him down with arm tackles.
And look at this. It's a fake. And this is incomplete. A huge gamble, and it does not pay off. Well, not only did they try to fake it, they put the ball in the arm of their punter, and it didn't work out.
Not the quarterback.
No.
The punter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Risky.
And it's so funny.
Not so genius.
In this case, not so genius. I do admire that he went for it.
Maybe just a lack of concentration there as he couldn't haul it in.
And when you're going across the middle like that, he's running that drag route, you are conscious of all the bodies and the traffic in there. But let's face it, if you're going there, you might as well come down with the football and absorb whatever else happens after that.
To throw here, Roethlisberger. And he's going to drop this off to Williams. Complete. 4 yards on the pickup, and that'll lead here to a 3rd down. All right, Charles, what do we glean from this now? Bad game last week, struggling here again.
Let's go back to our meeting with the head coach. We sat with him and we talked about last week's struggles. He totally just shrugged it off, didn't he? He didn't expect that. No one more surprised by what we're seeing today than that guy on the sidelines calling the plays.
Absolutely. A guy of this caliber, but struggling once more.
Let's face it, you can run the route tree as many times as you want, get in sync, practice it, do all those things. But once you get to game speed, it doesn't always time up quite that well. That one goes incomplete.
He gets this away as he'll wisely, I'd say, angle this to the sideline. And here comes the Steelers defense making their way onto the field. And they dug down last drive on 4th down, got the stop on their side of the field. You play defense, Charles. How huge is that on this drive?
can't even really quantify it because you're talking about field.
Jay's gonna go. The 20. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. Jay finding the end zone yet again. And the Dolphins just continue to pour it on. So they're going to go for 2. Tannehill going to throw for it. And this is going to be caught. So add 2 more to the lead as they continue to pour it on here in the 4th. Up big, and they go for 2, and they get it.
I remember being in high school and seeing an article in the paper where a local columnist had said, why are we fighting over sportsmanship and running up the score? Just run it up on everybody and deal with it. Some people just don't care that way, and obviously this coach feels the exact same way.
So that article was saying the defense should be able to stop them.
That's what they're trying to say. Hey, if you don't want it to happen, stop them. Otherwise, quit whining about it.
The kicking team out for Miami as they will send this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 yards with a new rule as he's taken down right at the 20-yard line. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And 3 and out on the last drive. No points on the scoreboard. A little soul-searching now?
I would say so, and they need to help out their defense a little bit. They've had to be on the field a lot more than normal, put them in some tough spots. But what's the old adage? When you get another chance, it gives you a better chance to do it right. And there's a good opportunity to just want to ride there. A drop pass. I guess that's why they call them running backs and not catching backs.
2nd and 10. It's Roethlisberger once more. To the sideline, and oh, a nice catch there. Made sure the feet were inbounds, and they were. So a 3rd and 8.
Let's make this one simple. What a catch, especially the finishing part of getting his feet in bounds, toe tapping, and of course, foot dragging.
A little tapestry, if you will.
Oh, I like it.
Here's Jordan Berry now as he's on to punt for Pittsburgh. And it's fielded at the 34. He won't go down. Again with a juke. A terrific return there. 27 yards all told. And the Dolphins will begin this drive in great field position. 1st and 10. And out come the Dolphins now. And they hit the home run last drive. One play on the ground all the way to the house. Now the defense, maybe they're expecting a run here.
Partner, I love your description because when we talk deep ball, about them just taking it big-time jaunt. Now if you're coming back out, now they've established this run game, the play-action pass could very well be open.
And with that carry, he has done it. He breaks the single-game rushing record.
How about doing it in the spotlight of our game? How wonderful is that to see all those yards accumulated, culminating in a brand new NFL record?
Yeah, give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good first down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on first down, you're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
On 2nd down, here's Tannehill. That's caught. It's Thomas. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown. Julius Thomas, his first touchdown on the year. And the Dolphins have got it on cruise control.
There's no doubt in my mind.
And do you hear that? Do you hear the...
It's not scales, right? I don't hear scales. Do I actually hear a tune being warbled?
I think the fat lady's humming.
God, she's doing more than humming. She's belting it out right now.
She's full bore.
Yeah, this thing is flat out finished.
And is there bad blood here? I mean, go for 2 when you're up that much?
If there wasn't before, there is now. When you do that, you've just announced to everyone, you just don't care about the other side at all. All you care about is what you're doing, and they just want pile-up points.
They do. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Out comes the Steeler offense now, ready to see what they can do here. And last drive, 3 and out. Still a goose egg on the scoreboard. How do they break that goose egg?
It find a way to get the ball in the hands of their playmakers, get them some space, and try and make a first down and get some momentum going. It's been a struggle for them throughout the game, and that 3-and-out on the last possession, that told you just how stalled they are on offense.
So who will step up here? We'll see. Again on 2nd and 10, it's Roethlisberger. Over the middle, and it's incomplete. Offense trying to avoid stalling out, facing a 3rd and 10. They go play action now. Roethlisberger. And that's incomplete.
It's a tried-and-true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he sensed being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. His first punt, 45 yards. This looks good as well. So a change of possession here on the punt. And it'll be Dolphin football. The Dolphins offense now heads back on the field. And that recipe on their last drive that resulted in a touchdown looked pretty good. So they'll be hoping to do that once more.
And it takes me back to when we sat with the offensive coordinator and the head coach. They felt pretty good about their game plan and thought there were some holes in the defense, and they exploited them the last time out. Let's see if they can come back and put together a similar drive.
And we'll see if they can do just that. Legs still churning.
Like a giant pinball.
They give them 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs.
Well, I'd say that run's pretty emblematic of what we've seen all day long. No matter what they've done on offense, this offensive line has controlled the line of scrimmage, giving them time to throw it, run it, do whatever they wanted. That's why there are points up on the board. And right now, the psyche of the offense, we're in control, and we can do whatever we feel like doing out here on the field. I know that every now and then we get in those meetings with coaches, and you almost want to roll your eyes when they talk about staying on schedule when they're moving the football. But would you say a 7-yard run is ahead of schedule?
Fourth quarter with the lead, you love that, don't you?
No doubt about it, because staying on schedule is trying to get 4 downs on first down. They did that plus 3.
It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football. In that situation, that's almost a tendency breaker.
They come out with 1 back and 3 tight ends. Now it's Ajayi. The beautiful fake. The loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. Time for a break. This one, all over but the shouting. We'll finish it after this. So the Dolphins have it as we welcome you back in. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Here's Ajayi. Oh, he shifts past him. Still on his feet. 9 good yards there on the run, and now 3rd down.
You've got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball, because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
This is Ajayi. Cuts it out to the sideline. Still going. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 to the 5-yard line.
That's a big league run. Takes them down inside the 5-yard line, and momentum definitely on the side of the guys on offense. And if you're an offensive lineman, you love to run the football, especially out in the field where there's some space. But I'll get you in on a little bit of a secret. Those guys like it in tight, too.
And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. And with that scamper into the end zone, it breaks the single-game record for rushing touchdowns.
Mate, we got to see, and a brand-new record has been established today.
And they'll get set here looking for the 2-point conversion. They'll try to run with Ajayi. And he is into the end zone again as he scores both the touchdown and the 2-point conversion to extend this lead. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And this will be a touchback. Last year would have come out to the 20. This year they'll move it out to the 25-yard line. Now the Steelers offense gets ready to get back onto the field. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest,
don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going forward.
Exactly. Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it, because
you're not going to want that feeling.
No, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with this team again.
So incomplete on second down. Now they'll look to convert here on third. From the gun on third down, it's Roethlisberger. Ball had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going. Here's Jordan Berry now, as he's on to punt for Pittsburgh.
Timing's crucial in any route thrown, but when you throw an out, so many things are going through the mind of the receiver. Catching the ball, timing it up with the quarterback. Are my feet going to get down in bounds? On that play, all those things going through his head might have caused him to drop it.
Sheds a second man.
He's building up some momentum, isn't he?
An excellent return that time, 26 yards. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. And the Dolphins offense now ready to go back out on the field. They have the big lead here late. They protected their home turf well, didn't they?
They certainly did, partner. And just think about how good that feels, because every team has a goal when they start the year to win at home. All right, and sometimes you don't win all of them, but they managed to get that done today. Just think about your routine stays the same. Everything's familiar. You feel right going into the game, and they translated that into a win.
They did indeed. They protected the home field, and now the final stages. Will the defense dial up the pressure? Let's see. 3rd and 11.
Hey, a lot of points have been scored in this game, but what a nice play by the defense. Stepping up on that one. Maybe they'll get things going in their direction after a play like that.
Ooh, with a juke. It's a 6-yard gain, and it leaves them looking at a 4th down. Now, whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on 4th. On 4th down, Tannehill. And they hit him as he throws, as this one's going to go straight down to the turf. Incomplete. So we were looking at each other up here in the booth when they went for that, saying, oh, wow. Talk about trying to add insult to injury.
Some teams are just like that. You know, some philosophy, some coaches are like, look, when I got a chance to put some more points on the board, I don't care what the situation, I'm going to do it. And they're also the same coaches as a general rule. That if someone does it to them, you won't hear people protest out of them. That's just who they are.
And he's certainly not a guy that drops that football very often.
Indeed, because that's a bit of a surprise. I know he's in the middle of some traffic and people, bodies all around him, but he usually has the focus to haul that one in.
The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. So Charles are able to complete what so often seems to be elusive, a shutout in the NFL. And maybe what's fitting is they ended the game on the field, that defensive unit on the field. What an exclamation mark.
And probably felt like they could go another 60 minutes without anyone putting points on the board against them. That's the confidence you gain throughout when you're pitching a shutout. And they're going to leave the stadium feeling like they're all 10 feet tall.
So for the Dolphins, they remain as hot as anyone, 6-0 now through the first month and a half. And they'll get to stay put for a few days as they'll host the Buffalo Bills next week. Meanwhile, for Pittsburgh, they can't quite seem to turn things around as they fall into 2-4 now on the year. And they'll try again next week at home against New England. So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com.